Listen to that. Fucking lorry.
That happened to me the other day. You make a comment how peaceful it is, and an aeroplane goes over.
Yeah, some old scrubber on the bike comes fucking scutching out corner. Basically, what I want to talk about is care homes and the paltry service they give, the fact they're mostly purely business, and basically, as a few of you may know, my father was ill recently. He's passed away now. At the end of his life, he was in a couple of these care homes briefly. One was called Shawcross at Bryn, and one was called Acorn. I can't really comment on Acorn because he was only there a couple of hours and he charged himself out, and I took him out because it was a lot of them are just basically fucking prisons for old people. They're fed up poultry, processed, microwave shit food. They're slumped in front of a fucking telly all day, and they're just basically holding rooms for old people to die.
Waiting for God.
Yeah, so they can get more old people in, get them in, ship them out in body bags or whatever, and it's just basically businesses, you know. Now, I don't understand this when Wigan Hospice, what is a charity, can offer the most amazing service in the most amazing surroundings, and saying it's a charity, bringing half of the staff are volunteers and more enthusiastic than these lazy bitches who are on fucking getting a wage, drawing a wage for being so fucking unhelpful. You know, there was an instance I had to call the ambulance out to my father because he was struggling breathing. No, they didn't give a fuck. And one of these fucking scrubbers, these fucking troglodytes who works in these homes, said, you'll probably get fined for calling an ambulance out. I said, I don't give a fuck, I'll pay it back £1 a week. You know, and that's the, you know, they don't give a fuck. And I think if you can help it, don't put your relatives into one of these fucking horrible homes. There's that St George's, what I've heard is bad. There's one at Alexandra Court at Pemberton where I've heard terrible things about. You know, and they're running as businesses, but they're providing a worse fucking service than an actual charity. Now, how can that be? Any thoughts, Mr. H?
Well, I used to work in one, if you remember.
Yeah.
I was an handyman at one up in Rufford many years ago. And the thing is, it is run as a business. You are quite right on that. So obviously they want to get as much money as they can. So they provide, you know, the cheapest food they can use.
Yeah.
And like you said, basically it is a prison for old people. You know, I think we've all said that, haven't we? You know, shoot me if I have to go in one of them places. That said, in a bit of thing, my mother-in-law works in one, and she does try and do her best, but even she admits some of the colleagues, you know, they don't give a toss.
You know, I'm not saying that everyone who works in a care home is like that. There is some people who actually care. I will say they're outnumbered by people who don't give a fuck. A lot of people there are basically thick and they can't get a job.
Minimum wage, so.
But they can't get a job doing anything else. A lot of them.
Yeah,
so really, they could be stacking boxes all day or throwing bags of potatoes about because they don't give a fuck. They're just there for the hours they work and for the wage. You know, so they don't. There's no empathy there, no compassion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as soon as they clock off, sir, that's it.
My father, when he first went to hospital, tried to go to bed and fell at that fucking Shawcross at Bryn, and he was left. And it took him about 10 or 15 minutes to find him. You know, like I said, and even the hospital failed him. They sent him out of his lungs were filled with fluid. And he could hardly breathe, and the hospital sent him out to this home with no oxygen. Now even the fucking ambulance man said this is an unsafe discharge, and this Filipino elephant washing cunt, yes I did say that, that's what she should have been doing back home, come in and said to the ambulance, have we got a statement of intent? That was no care about my father not being able to breathe or his condition. basically, have we got a piece of paper signed that's saying it's not her fault if he dies? You know, and I just said that to her. I said, you don't give a fuck, you, do you? You know, I do.
They don't, because I'll tell you for why, Jimmy, because in their culture, because there's a lot of these, like say Filipinos, Chinese and that, in their culture, if you're useless to family, you're kicked out. If you lose your arm or something, you're expected to go on street and beg.
Yeah.
So they've got no empathy for older people, because in their culture, you know, they're just a fucking a millstone round family's neck.
Well, let me tell you this. The first time my father was discharged there, I found him in his room. He had no buzzer connected to the wall. There's a socket for the buzzer. He didn't have a buzzer for a start. He had no fresh water. He had no water. Now, bear in mind, it was basically plonked in a fucking bed with no telly on, nothing like that. They're fucking disgraceful, these homes. They all want shutting down. They're just fucking money-making concerns for... I'm sure if you pay enough money, you'll get great service. But for the average working class people who've worked all their lives, and they end up fucking stuck in these fucking gulags, for want of a better fucking word, it's disgraceful, you know. And that's it really. Why? My question is, why can Wigan Hospice provide such a fantastic fucking service, and half of the as a charity, and half of these, or 3/4 of these care homes aren't charities, and provide a fucking appalling service? It's fucking outrageous.
Yeah,
Any thoughts?
I agree with you, sir. Before any clever dick gets on here and says, well, why didn't you fucking look after your dad? It's not that simple, is it, sir?
No, we're basically, you know, my father was in the final stages of cancer, you know, and
we're not equipped to deal with that kind of thing,
towards the end of his life, I wanted him to come home. I said I'd sleep there, but he didn't feel safe, and he ended his days in hospital. You know, they killed him by what they do, the pathway. You know, the pathway is a nice way of saying it, but basically they shut off the fucking food supply and water supply and fill them with morphine. It's fucking disgraceful, you know, but there we go. Right, Mr H, I think we'll call time though.
Yes, sir.